Aloha, friends. My name is Jason.Siegel. Today, I will be talking about the nervous system. What is the nervous system? Why it is so important for us in our life, and how we can protect and fortify our nervous system in the modern world. So the nervous system runs from the brain through the extremities and the spinal cord, and it runs on electricity. It allows us to translate our sensations of touching, smelling, tasting, etc. into reality, into understanding. So the nervous system is nourished by fats and oils, and it is overstimulated by electrical stimulation, such as electromagnetic frequencies from Wi-Fi and cell phones and 5G towers, as well as the environment we live in the West. The environment we live in the West is a bit high pace and stressed. And over time, that can really tax our nervous system. So most people in the West, and most of us using technology and watching videos like this one, are experiencing more stimulation to our nervous system than our ancestors ever experienced. So it is very important to learn to manage and regulate and renew and protect our nervous system. Our body and nervous system adapted to being with the earth, which for much time was 7.83 cycles per second, a very slow rhythm. Now these 5G towers that are all over the world run, I think, 26 million cycles per second. Wi-Fi routers and cell phones also run much higher than the Earth's frequency. Therefore, we are currently dealing with a massive amount of electrical stimulation, way more than we've ever experienced, and in a time when we haven't been able to adapt to this stressor. If you look at the time scale of our ancestral evolution, this hyper-stimulated technological world has, in the blink of an eye, come into existence. So we are adaptable human beings. That's one of our best qualities, I believe, as humans. We're super adaptable. Nonetheless, genetic changes don't happen overnight. So it is really important to support the nervous system in these times, unless you're living out in the forest. If you have a Wi-Fi router, if you have a cell phone, if you live in any sort of industrialized, westernized society, then it is really important to practice these following tips. So, number one is going to be grounding. Grounding and breathing are the two keys to moderating the nervous system. When we don't breathe, we get tense and stressed, and then those electrical frequencies are going to affect us more. So, taking a deep breath and making that a practice every day is extremely helpful to balancing the stress levels and balancing the nervous system. The second thing you can do, which is very easy, is take off your shoes, even for a few minutes, and go to a nice patch of grass or somewhere where the ground is a bit moist, where the conductivity is better, and put your feet on the earth. What that's going to do is it's going to take all the excess positive ions from the electrical grid, and it's going to put it back in the earth, and you're going to receive negative ions from the earth. This is called grounding, and there is a tremendous amount of scientific research on grounding that our ancestors didn't need because they lived barefoot. So a lot of the wisdom is stored in time. So grounding even 5 minutes a day, grounding when you're stressed, grounding ideally multiple times a day is really helpful to dumping those excess ions out of the body and staying calmer throughout the day. It will also help to reduce inflammation in the body by taking out those excessive EMFs and dumping them back into the earth. So grounding and breathing, both free, both very helpful. Next, I'm going to talk about nutrition. The nervous system is nourished by fats, mostly saturated fats and DHA omega-3 fats. Primarily, these are found in animal foods, eggs, fish, meat, dairy. There are some saturated fats in, say, coconut oil and coconut milk, but animal fats have more of these nourishing protective elements for our nerves. I like to think of the metaphor of a road. If a bumpy dirt road is going to be like a non-myelinated nervous system. So a neuron that does not have good nutrients for it. It's going to be bumpy. The information is not going to get there very quickly. As opposed to a smooth highway, a paved road, is a healthy neuron that conducts information quickly. And that's going to be nourished by saturated fats and DHA omega-3s and cholesterol. So I have found that if you enter, say, a city or an environment that has a lot of electrical pollution, it can be really helpful to eat a nourishing, grounding meal. Even drinking a bit of olive oil, as Adriel just sampled me, having some eggs, having a steak, having some bone broth, putting some butter in your coffee even. Having these fats in your bloodstream is really helpful to protect your cells, your glands, and your nerves from the excessive stimulation. It's like a fighter having muscle in them. You can take some hits. Another nutrient I found to be really helpful is algae. This is blue-green algae. Now, blue-green algae and chlorella and spirulinas, they have an affinity to protect and coat the nervous system. They also protect against radiation, and they're very high in DHA omega-3s and other nutrients. So I do the experiment where I take algae and chlorella when I'm right near the 5G tower on the mountain here, and I can in a minute feel my cells being protected. So that's been a nice revelation. Algae and chlorellas, fantastic. Hydration is very important. Staying hydrated, keeping the body hydrated, which I will go to in another video. Dehydration is an issue in the West, and the EMFs only make us more dehydrated. So having good quality electrolytes, coconut water, minerals, vitamins, electrolytes in the body is really important because we're 70% water, and water is also one of the buffers against stressors. So another way to protect yourself against these electromagnetic frequencies are clothing. There are certain clothing companies like this here. This is a lamb's beanie. It's actually a silver coated beanie likened to a Faraday cage that protects the body from about 99% of the incoming EMFs. So if you were to put this beanie on over this beanie, you are now protected from 99% of the waves coming into your brain. Now, the organs with the highest mitochondria, brain, heart, and overall the glands, are the most important to protect. So there's also products. Lambs is one company that sells these. There's other brands as well that sell EMF underwear, EMF t-shirts, pants, etc. I found these to be very helpful at times when I am near these towers or I spend a lot of time in the grid. These protective clothings can be very, very useful. People have made EMF pendants. So pendants that you can wear around your neck that create a toroidal field, basically a protective field from all forms of energy around your aura. There's also, magnets like and so. Certain stones and crystals have protective elements such as shungite and I know hematite's good for the blood. Shungite and obsidian are very good to protect against EMFs. You can wear things around your wrist if you're using your phone a lot that will protect the nervous system. And the pendants will protect the whole body. So I'll put some links in the video of good products that I know. Can be very, very helpful to keep the body balanced and keep the meridians healthy. Last but not least, it is really important to spend time away from the grid to mitigate your exposure to EMFs. So you can do this mitigation by unplugging the Wi-Fi router in your home at night, leaving your phone away from you during the day as much as possible, or putting it on airplane mode. Maybe making a space so your laptop is not right on your genitals, but a bit away from your precious glands that reproduce children. Spending time in nature, even if it's 30 minutes a day and you work in an office, that 30 minutes a day is going to help you tremendously. Think about that accumulating over the years, right? Getting out for an afternoon even, or for a day away from the technology. These practices of mitigating exposure are really helpful over time. So mitigation, protection, and nutrition. That's what we covered here. I really hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you take some of these practices or products into your life and incorporate them and notice a healthier body and a clearer mind and a happier spirit. Thank you for watching.